Hey, Elena, thanks for joining me today. I've been thinking about something many people, myself included, sometimes struggle with at work: asking for help. It seems simple, but there's a lot more to it when you think about tone, timing, and language.
Absolutely, John. It's one of those things that can really impact how well a team functions. And honestly, asking for help politely is a skill, not just a sentence. Especially in professional settings, using polite expressions and modal verbs like can and could makes a huge difference.
Right. I remember when I first started out, I used to just say, "I don't get this." But now I say something like, "Could you help me understand this part a little better?" It sounds softer, more respectful, and people are more willing to help.
Exactly. Phrasing matters. Saying, "Can you explain this when you have a moment?" shows respect for the other person's time. Or even better, "Could you possibly give me a hand with this report later today?" That one adds a friendly tone without sounding like a demand.
Yes, let's talk about some specific phrases employees can use. For example, instead of saying, "I need help," how about, "Could I ask you for some help with this task?" Or, "Can I run something by you quickly?"
Great ones! I also like, "Would you mind helping me with this client email?" Or, "Is it okay if I ask for your feedback on this presentation?" Notice how these phrases start with modal verbs: could, can, would. They invite cooperation, not obligation.
Totally agree. Now, from an employee's perspective, sometimes there's fear involved. Like, will I seem weak? Or shouldn't I know this already?
That's such an important point. Asking for help doesn't mean you're incompetent. In fact, it often shows that you're responsible and that you care about doing the job right. I'd rather someone say, "Could you walk me through this before I submit it?" than turn in something that's off track.
That makes sense. And honestly, asking early can prevent much bigger problems later. I usually try to say, "Hey, Elena, could I get 5 minutes of your time to clarify something about the deadline?"
Yes, and from an employer's side, I appreciate when someone says, "Can we go over this together to make sure I'm on the right track?" That shows initiative. Also, it's good to signal that you've already tried. "I looked into this and tried a few options. Could you help me figure out the next step?"
Let's shift to email, since tone can get tricky there. How do we stay polite without sounding too formal or robotic?
Great question. In email, use phrases like, "I hope you're doing well," "Would you be able to?" "When you get a chance, could you?" Here's an example. "Hi, Elena. I'm reviewing the new software requirements. Would you be available for a quick call tomorrow to go over a few points?" It's polite, clear, and respects my time.
Perfect. I also like, "Could I trouble you for your feedback on this draft?" Or, "If it's not too much trouble, can you take a look by Friday?" The phrase, "if it's not too much trouble," works wonders.
Absolutely. And don't forget to express gratitude after the help. A simple "thanks so much for your help" or "really appreciate you taking the time" builds strong professional relationships.
Totally. Now, any advice for managers who want to encourage team members to ask for help more freely?
Yes. As a manager, you've got to create a culture where asking for help is safe and encouraged. Say things like, "If you get stuck, feel free to ask," or "My door's open if you need support." Also, model it yourself. "Hey team, could someone help me review this before the client meeting?" That shows it's okay to ask.
That's a great tip. It builds trust when leaders are open too. All right, before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of the key phrases for our listeners.
Sure. Here are some of the best polite request phrases using modal verbs. "Could you help me with?" "Can I ask for your input on?" "Would you mind explaining?" "Is it okay if I ask for a hand with?" "If it's not too much trouble, could you?" And don't forget, say thank you after. Acknowledge their time and effort.
That's golden advice. Remember, everyone, asking for help is not a weakness, it's a strength that builds collaboration and success. Thanks, Elena. This was a really helpful chat.
Thank you, John. Always happy to help. And to everyone listening, next time you're unsure, just ask politely.